I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all crazy sports newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
Welcome to the Sport Report.
Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Top of the Order is actually going to include all 4 games from the NHL and NBA from last night's slate. Why, you ask? Well, let's put it this way. There were 2 eliminations, and there were 4 interesting games, with each having their own Top of the Order worthy storyline. In the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes won 5-2 over the defending Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals to force a Game 7. Man, Carolina's home arena is loud. Game 7 will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Alex Ovechkin had a goal for the Capitals, but he got fed up with the refs, and it kind of boiled over towards the end of Game 6. It won't result in any fines, not that we think, but he did vent some frustration towards the refs. Game 2 of the night had the Dallas Stars winning 2-1 in overtime, with John Klingberg scoring the game winner for Dallas. They win the series 4-2, and they clinched it on home ice. The Predators now become the 3rd division champion up to bat, and the 3rd division champion to strike out in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. The 4th division champion are the Washington Capitals, who play tomorrow night in Game 7. Today's NHL games include 2 Game 7s on the calendar. Toronto Maple Leafs are at the Boston Bruins in a rematch of the 2013 Eastern Conference semifinal Game 7, when Boston came back from 3 down in the 3rd period to go on and win in overtime thanks to Patrice Bergeron's goal. They would lose in the Stanley Cup final that year to the Chicago Blackhawks. At 10 p.m. Eastern, also on NBCSN, we forgot to mention the Bruins and Maple Leafs, 7 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. 10 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN, Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks tied at 3 as well in Game 7. Will Vegas clinch another series on the road, or will they go home? The Vegas Golden Knights have never clinched a series in the postseason. This is their 2nd year as a franchise. They've never clinched a postseason series at home. Interesting. Well, how did the NBA have some top-of-the-order storylines? Well, the Detroit Pistons were swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, who now set up a Eastern Conference semifinal matchup with the Boston Celtics, who also swept their opponent, the Indiana Pacers. It'll be Giannis Antetokounmpo versus Kyrie Irving. We'll have NBA Sport Report correspondent Braden Magnus on the air sometime later this week, once all of the series have gone final, to preview the 2nd round. The Bucks won their first playoff series since 2001, and they did it in style by having the 2nd highest margin, scoring margin that is, in his playoff series when you sweep an opponent, plus 95. The last game of the night had the Houston Rockets falling to the Utah Jazz 107-91. That series is 3-1 in favor of Houston as Utah takes Game 4. The Rockets couldn't seem to hit a 3-pointer, and the Jazz took advantage, and Donovan Mitchell dropped 31 as the Jazz forced Game 5 back in Houston on Wednesday night. Today's 4 NBA matchups include the Orlando Magic at the Toronto Raptors at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV. At 8 p.m. Eastern, the Brooklyn Nets are at the Philadelphia 76ers on TNT. Both of those Eastern Conference series are 3-1 in favor of Toronto and Philadelphia. A series that is tied at 2, the San Antonio Spurs at the Denver Nuggets, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV at the Pepsi Center in Denver. And in the final game of the night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT, Oklahoma City Thunder are at the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland leads 3-1. Now that we've finished top of the order and around the NBA and around the NHL, let's go to the Diamond.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
And Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Touch 'em all, Joe.
Home run! Mike Piazza!
Jeter backhands from the outfield grass. Got it! Man, what a play!
Now now from Major League Baseball.
There were 10 games on the MLB slate, but that was quickly reduced to 9 when the Detroit Tigers were postponed at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox due to inclement weather. They'll reschedule for a day-night doubleheader today. In the other 9 games, the Minnesota Twins defeated the Houston Astros 9-5. Jorge Polanco had 4 hits and 4 ribbies as the Twins now have 4 straight wins. Chicago White Sox 12, Baltimore Orioles 2, Arizona Diamondbacks 12, Pittsburgh Pirates 4, Tampa Bay Rays 6, Kansas City Royals 3, New York Mets 5, Philadelphia Phillies 1, St. Louis Cardinals 13, Milwaukee Brewers 5. I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else has noticed this, but the Cardinals and Brewers seem to have been playing a lot early in the season. I don't know, just an observation. Oakland Athletics 6, Texas Rangers 1, Colorado Rockies 7, Washington Nationals 5. Nolan Arenado had a 3-hit game, including his 1,000th career hit for the Rockies and his career. Rockies now improved to 10-13 on the season, which is better than when they started 3-11. Bryce Harper was ejected for the first time in a Phillies uniform after yelling at the umpires from the dugout. Yankees 4, Angels 3 in 14 innings. One notable soccer result, Chelsea and Burnley drew 2-2 at Stamford Bridge in London. The Clarets, Burnley, are projected to stay out of the relegation zone, meaning they will have another season in the Premier League next year. Chelsea also put a halt to their top 4 celebration plans as they still have to play Manchester United on Sunday. United play City tomorrow as they look to continue in the hunt for the top 4. Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United 3, 4, 5, 6 are all separated from Tottenham to Manchester United by 3 points. It's going to be interesting. Manchester City and Liverpool are still fighting for the title. As we said, Manchester City play Manchester United in a Manchester derby tomorrow. That could have title race and top 4 implications based on the outcome of that match. That's the Sport Report for April 23rd, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com. This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler Sports is strictly prohibited.